As the Civil War was drawing to a close in 1865, President Lincoln began making plans for the physical, economic, social, and political rehabilitation of a region marked by 4 years of war and 200 years of racism. Republicans in the federal government felt responsible for restoring public infrastructure, private property, food production, medical care, and housing, all while the workforce and economy were in shambles. Furthermore, they wanted to change many characteristics of Southern society and politics. Even though most of the programs were aimed at helping the South, many white Southerners resented the suggestion that their world needed to be reconstructed at all, and fought against any changes imposed on them by Republicans, Northerners, or anyone in the federal government. This struggle to rebuild Southern government, society, infrastructure, and economy was called Reconstruction, and it dominated political debate for 12 years under 3 different presidents. But was it successful? President Lincoln's original goal in the Civil War was to hold the nation together. And in this, the war and Reconstruction were a success. The Confederacy was destroyed for good, and every state that had seceded was readmitted to the Union. In fact, the Civil War went a step further in terms of public thought. American historian Shelby Foote noted, "Before the war, it was said the United States are." Grammatically, it was spoken that way and thought of as a collection of independent states. And after the war, it was always the United States is, as we say today, without being self-conscious at all. And that sums up what the war accomplished. It made us an is. The federal government outlawed slavery with the 13th Amendment, defined citizenship and protected all Americans under the law with the 14th Amendment, and extended suffrage to all men in the 15th Amendment. Federal legislation, like the Freedmen's Bureau and the Civil Rights Act, worked to get African Americans back on their feet and participating equally in the government, society, and economy. Black men were elected to every level of government, including governors and senators. All of the Southern states drafted new constitutions and ratified the Reconstruction Amendments. Many African Americans participated in new state and local governments, which worked for equal rights and to rebuild or create services like schools, railroads, hospitals, housing, roads, and asylums. Charitable organizations and individuals, especially Northerners, worked to improve literacy and education for African Americans. Businessmen opened new industries like steel, cotton, and lumber mills to revitalize the economy. New cultural venues opened. Black institutions and churches gained autonomy. Despite these many achievements, Reconstruction faced tremendous challenges, many of them, but not all of them, because of white resistance. In the early years of Reconstruction, the new state governments had many competent but inexperienced leaders. A few were carpetbaggers motivated by greed and corruption. Southern whites were often uncooperative with new legislation passed by blacks or Yankees. Vigilante groups like the Ku Klux Klan emerged to maintain white supremacy and intimidate black voters or any whites who supported